This is not going to be a tale, though, so much as maybe some tall tales and some stories about these objects. We're going to have you guys handle some objects today, and we're going to read out some descriptions about the objects in terms of whether you think our stories are true or not, is what will determine who wins the game. And the prizes are some butter tart squares that the winning team can choose to share with the losing team if they're feeling generous.
How many do we get?
My name's Niki. I'm the curator at the museum. And this is Emma Chadsey. She's the collections coordinator. The last 2 years we've been cleaning and wiping the dust off of items out of the machine shed to get them ready to bring them down to our new building. So we found some oddball things, and we're always kind of surprised when we read the story about an object. Oftentimes a rusty old piece of junk has a lot more history to it than you would think when you first look at it.
So we have 10 different objects that we're going to pass around, as you can see here. So we're going to be handing out gloves to everybody so you don't get your hands dirty, and we think that it's going to take between about 40 minutes and an hour. For these boots, we've got 3 options. Number 1 is Milton Chance's boots, and that is, of course, one of the residents of the Chance house. And B is these are the boots that Morgan Miller used to walk from Vancouver. And C is these boots were found floating in the Lillooet River after the 1940 flood. So now it's up to you to look at the boots and decide which one of these stories you believe.
Okay, so I think everybody's ready. So Team 1, do you guys want a nicer name than Team 1?
No, we'll stick with that.
Team 1.
We can just call us the winners.
All right, so your guess is?
Hey.
A, Milton Chance's boots. Emma?
Okay, well we have to wait for everybody.
Yeah,
So, what does Team 2
We
think?
say A. Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say
A.
Alright, so that is the correct answer. So everybody has 1 point, so it's a tie.
Actually, that first one
So as we pass this item along, this is a thingamajig. It's a miniature model of a First Nations canoe. That's option A. B, it's a weaving shuttle that was used by E. Collister's mother, Mrs. Sadie McCullough. Or C, this is a child's toy that belonged to the Van Beans children. So is it a canoe, is it a toy, or is it a weaving shuttle?
I think it's
Okay, well, you pass it on once you think you know.
From Tom Poole's murder, it was found in the wreckage of Tom Poole's Inn. Option B is this wrench was used in logging operations by the Perkins Brothers Logging Company. And C is Slim Faubourg bought this wrench in Skookumchuck, and it may have been used with the priest buggy.
I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, so again, the options for this one were A, the murder weapon from Tom Poole's murder, B, a wrench from logging operations of the Perkins Brothers Logging Company, and C, a wrench that Slim Faubourg bought and it may have been used with the priest wagon. So has everybody decided? Okay, so Team 1, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, what is your answer?
We're going with C.
Okay. Team 2?
Yes, we're C.
Alright. And Team 3?
B.
Okay, and the answer is C.
All right, so I'm handing around a bowl, and your options are the George Walker, and George Walker did donate a lot of stuff to the museum. He dug this dish up at the 29 Mile House. Or B, John Jansen donated this sugar dish to the museum. John Jansen was another big donor of the museums, and he also donated money that helped the Museum Society put up the fence years ago. And C, the sugar dish is part of a set that was used in the Pemberton Hotel in the 1940s and 50s. Okay, Team 3, what do you think?
That's what I'm saying. It's not
I think A.
Okay, quick, change your answer.
Team 3. thought was a good
Still
I thought it was good. C, okay.
C.
The Pemberton Hotel Sugar Dish. Team 2,
We think B.
B, John Jansen's Sugar Dish.
We're going with
Team
B.
3. You guys are on fire. It's John Jansen's.
Yeah.
Donated.
I knew it was.
So next up we have this strange looking tool. So option 1 for this is a dental tool that belonged to Sigrid Gims and it came all the way from Norway. Option B is that it was used for knitting complicated garments and it belonged to Rosemary Walden. And C is Dave Midgley donated this tool that is used for castrating sheep.
He's on their team, that's not fair. He knows it's either right or wrong.
There's still 2 other options.
I'm wondering.
He's your twinnie.
That's my.
You guys ready?
So team 1, what is your answer?
C.
Okay, and team 2
We say C.
and team 3.
C.
Good job, everybody. That's the right answer. And it's actually a piece of modern farming equipment. Dave bought it at a garage sale.
So when somebody gave it to me in the garage, I was like, take this into the museum. This is what it is.
So sometimes we wear gloves to protect objects, and other times we wear the gloves to protect ourselves from the objects. Okay, our next object is
Oh, yeah.
scissors. So were these shears used to cut off the matted and scraggly hair of the miners at Fort Pemberton? Or B, George Walker donated these sheep shears? Or C, these weed trimmers were used by the Decker family farm in the Pemberton Meadows probably as early as 1927. So, were they for cutting hair, miner's hair, sheep hair, or weed up at the Decker farm? Who wants to go first? Team 1?
We
Sheep shears? Yep. Okay. Team 2?
Weeds.
Weeds?
Number C.
Team 3?
There will be a change.
Weeds.
These are sheep shears.
You're kidding.
And they're very old. They were found by, they were donated by George Walker, and they were on the farm when Walker bought it from A.W. Spetch. So these go back to the 1880s.
Okay,
Now this one's complicated.
start you off with this rock. So this rock was either an archaeological implement, probably a broken hammerstone, or it was a prop from a play that was put on by Pemberton Secondary School and it was donated by George Henry, who has brought in a lot of stuff over the years because he's the president of the museum, or it was a doorstop that came with the Barney house.
All of the above.
Team 1.
C.
Okay. Team 2.
We think it's A.
Alright, and team 3. Alright.
2 and 3, you get it.
Team 1.
We have 3 more objects.
Oh.
Okay, this is a paper holder. Here's your options. Mrs. Perkins found this paper holder in Axel Johnson's blacksmith shop, which the Perkins bought and moved to their home property. Or B, this paper holder was used in the Pemberton Co-op. Or C, this item was used in the Pemberton Station School and it originally belonged to Mary Bertha Green, who was the first teacher of the school.
Ooh, you're getting complicated.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so your options were that it came from Axel Johnson's blacksmith shop, or it came from the Pemberton Co-op, which was very paper intensive, or it was used by the Pemberton Station School's first teacher. Team 1, what do you think?
Oh, that's us. I think B.
B? Okay. Team 2?
Pick B. B.
B, okay.
Oh, you.
Oh, that
B.
one.
Ten.
The answer is A.
Okay, so this next item is very small, so we want to be careful not to drop it. So these are whatsits. That's a very technical museum term. So the three options for the whatsits are, they were replacement keys for a typewriter, and the little silver one was actually handmade, and they came with a typewriter donated by George Purdon. B is that this is a mismatched set of cufflinks, and they used to belong to Klaus Botch. And C is these are collar studs, and they would have been used by Slim Fauberg to button his collar to his shirt. Okay, why don't we start with team 3? Are you ready?
C.
All right, team 2.
We think C.
Okay, and team 1.
C.
Everybody says C. That is correct.
Okay, we're on to our last object. We'll start over here. So, this is a steel bar. Option A is it's a steel dog that was used for holding logs together. It arrived in the museum in the Sam Gym House. Or B, it's the front piece of a toboggan that belonged to Rhoda Telfer's children. Or C, the purpose of this bent steel bar is unknown. It was part of a large donation from June Perkins. So we'll start with team 1. What do you think it is?
We think it's A.
Option A. What about team 2? You do have a logger.
Why don't you guys pick something different, then there'll be a spur.
The answer is A.
I've seen them use
You guys are all qualified museum experts. We couldn't fool you at all.
Well, yeah, we got a couple wrong.
One more.
One wrong. We got two wrong.
So anyway, this is the first time we did a workshop format like this. Thanks for playing along with us. The museum has over 2,000 objects cataloged. We're working through the register annually, and we hope to have images of the objects, about 1,000 of them, along with descriptions on our website by the start of next year. We did get some funding from Heritage Canada to do that, so look for that on our website. And that way, if you want to do some armchair research, you can just do it from home and find out all about sheep shears and logging dogs and wrenches for priest wagons and all kinds of weird things that we have here. Thanks to Emma for all of your work this summer on trying to identify. Oftentimes, we're looking for people like you to help us figure out what these things are. So if you ever have some time and you feel like getting involved, we have lots of objects to try to figure out what they are.
Under the dust.
How they were used. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you everyone for coming today and to all the tea this season. I think a lot of you are regular tea goers. So I hope that you've enjoyed our program, and hopefully we'll see you again next year.
Thank you.